Hey, what's up, everybody? Once again, my name is DJ, and I'm sitting back, doing what I do on a Monday, sitting back at the crib, chilling. And I like to give my opinion on Mondays about certain videos and certain things that I see and I read about and stuff like that. And I did a couple of video about maybe 2 weeks back, and the subject was on the three best self-defense systems for the streets. My opinion on what the three top self-defense systems for the streets are. So another subject came about, and I want to talk about it. And it was talking about what is the three, or what's the not the three, but what's the best self-defense system for law enforcement, for the police. What's the best self-defense system that is for police officers? Okay. All right, so I ain't even gonna give you what I think the top three is. I'm just gonna tell you what I think the best self-defense system for law enforcement is. But before I do, let me tell you where my opinion is coming from, and why I have picked the one that I'm going with. Now, first of all, being a young black man in America, I have a big disdain for the senseless killings that are happening to my young black brothers, or just black people brothers in general, by police officers. It's something's got to be done about it. It's senseless, and we got to do something about it. And perhaps if the police officers or law enforcement officers, whatever, were to invest in learning, a martial art, it would be less need to pull out their death weapon. It'd be less need for them to, pull out their gun if they know how to, use their hands or other means of defense other than shooting. I personally think it should be mandatory for all law enforcement to learn a martial art. I think it should be mandatory. I don't give a fuck if it's police. I don't give a fuck if it's security. If you are given a gun and your job is to secure, whether it's a store, a resident, a neighborhood, or whatever, if you are a sworn officer that's given a gun, it should be mandatory for you to learn a self-defense. Now, what that self-defense is, your choice. It should be mandatory. Okay, that's number one. Number two, being a young black man who was raised in the inner city, I have a disdain for police brutality. Okay, unreasonable force used to hold, detain, lock up, or whatever, bad guys, particularly young black men. I am fortunate not to be the victim of any police brutality, but I have seen it with my own eyes. I know people that have gone through it. I know people that are damaged from it. And it's just got to stop. Something's got to be done. So with that being said, I'm not going to choose the any martial art that has striking as their primary form of defense. If striking, whether it's punches, elbows, knees, kicks, if that's the primary function of the self-defense system, then I'm not going to say that is good for law enforcement. All right, cool. All right, so with that being said, I think the number one self-defense system or martial arts system for law enforcement is jiu-jitsu. And I'm going to tell you why. Jiu-jitsu, their whole game is to take you down, and hold you there until you quit. To take you to take you down and hold you there until you submit. That's their whole game, keeping you to control you until you quit because you're tired or they got you in some type of hold or something like that. That's their whole game. They are undoubtedly the best at it. I challenge anyone to say that jiu-jitsu is not the best at that, to hold you down until you quit. That's what they do. So what better art for a law enforcement officer to learn than to learn to hold somebody down and until they quit. It's not about punching. It's not about elbowing. It's not about causing them damage with strikes. It's about making them submit from being in a particular hold. That's what jiu-jitsu is, and that's what I think is the best for law enforcement. Now, we know when weapons are introduced, they got guns and knives, the bad guys or whatever, then I'm sure things change. I can't really speak on how, I know some jiu-jitsu schools have defenses for that. I really can't speak on them because I haven't seen them. I mean, I know what we at Krav Maga do, and what we at Krav Maga do, we're pretty good at it. We specialize in it. When somebody has a weapon, then hey, it's no holds barred, and then you got to do what you have to do. But I can't speak on that. I'm just talking about in general, when the bad guy doesn't have a weapon. In my opinion, jiu-jitsu is the best self-defense for officers because of the fact that their job is to hold them down and detain them until they quit. And so, but then again, that's just my opinion. So do what you do, train where you train, and wherever you train, be the best at it. Peace. I'm out. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to my page because I got more.